A job fails for 30 minutes before anyone notices. Retry 3 always works, so the alarm never fires. But the root cause is permanent, and it's been hiding for months. Let's break down AutoSys Event Server and Event Processor, how it works, and the exact mistake behind that failure. Today we're diving into the AutoSys Event Server and Event Processor, the brain behind enterprise batch scheduling. We'll cover how it handles retries, box terminators, timeouts, and high availability, and we'll unpack that incident where retries hit a bug for half a year. The AutoSys Event Server Event Processor is the core scheduling engine. It reads job definitions from the Event Server database, evaluates dependencies, and dispatches commands to remote agents. Think of it as the brain that decides when a job should run, retry, or fail. AutoSys provides several fault tolerance mechanisms. The nretries attribute controls automatic retry attempts. Box terminator stops an entire box when a critical job fails. Term runtime kills jobs that run too long. And for infrastructure resilience, dual event server HA provides automatic failover. The event processor pulls the event server database for new events, job completions, status changes, or timer expirations. It processes them sequentially against a dependency graph. This is a polling-based system, so there's always a delay between an event occurring and the processor picking it up. Here's a typical job definition. It runs a script at 6 p.m., retries up to 3 times on failure, alarms only after all retries exhaust, and kills the job if it runs over 45 minutes. The nretries attribute tells AutoSys to automatically rerun a failed job end times. A hidden detail, nretries, 3 means up to 4 total runs, the original attempt plus 3 retries. The alarm only fires after all retries are exhausted. This is great for transient failures, but can mask permanent issues. If a job regularly needs retries to succeed, you have a bug, not a transient failure. With nretries, 5, the job can fail 4 times and succeed on the 5th, never triggering an alarm. The monitoring shows 100% success, but the underlying problem persists. Box terminator, 1 marks a job as the kill switch for its parent box. When that job fails, AutoSys immediately terminates the entire box. All pending inner jobs move to terminated state. This is essential for validation jobs. If input is corrupt, there's no point running downstream jobs. Here, validate input data is marked as box terminator. If it fails, the entire OUD box stops immediately. Without this, other jobs in the box would continue running on bad data. If a validation job fails but isn't a box terminator, downstream jobs continue running on potentially corrupt data. This can lead to incorrect outputs that aren't caught until customers complain days later. Term runtime kills a job after n minutes from its start time. The timer resets on each retry. Crucially, terminated is not failure conditions like success. Job won't trigger on terminated. You need explicit OR conditions to handle timeouts. This job has a term runtime of 390 minutes, 6.5 hours. If it's still running at 5:30 a.m., AutoSys kills it and marks it terminated. The timer starts when the job starts, not at the scheduled time. Without term runtime, a hung job can block downstream jobs indefinitely. In one incident, a database lock caused a job to hang for 14 hours, missing the morning SLA. Always set term runtime on jobs that touch external systems. For high availability, AutoSys uses a dual event server architecture. The primary handles all writes, and the shadow maintains a real-time replica via database replication. When the primary fails, the processor promotes the shadow within 60-90 seconds, but replication lag can break failover. Use these commands to verify your HA setup. Check which server is primary, verify the shadow is in sync, and monitor replication lag. If lag exceeds 60 seconds, failover may not work correctly. A retail company's primary event server crashed during peak holiday batch. The shadow had 4 hours of replication lag due to a broken network link. Failover completed, but 4 hours of job statuses were lost. Recovery took 9 hours. Test HA quarterly. Untested HA is worse than no HA. This is the same issue we highlighted at the start. Here's exactly why that happened. The job had n retries, 5, so it could fail up to 4 times and still succeed on the 5th attempt. The alarm only fires after all retries exhaust. Since the 4th retry always succeeded, the alarm never triggered. The root cause was a race condition in the script. It deleted a temp table before committing the final write. Under load, the table disappeared mid-read, causing an error. By the 4th retry, load had subsided, so it succeeded. The extract script had a race condition. N retries, 5 kept retrying silently until one attempt slipped through, alarm if fail was off, so nothing ever fired. The fix involved 3 changes. First, N retries was reduced from 5 to 2, excessive retries mask real problems. Second, monitoring was added on job attempt count, not just final status. Third, the actual bug was fixed. The script now commits before dropping the temp table. Additionally, an alert was added for any failure on critical jobs, regardless of retry exhaustion. This is the exact configuration that caused the 6-month bug. With N retries, 5, the job could fail repeatedly and still succeed on the last retry, never triggering an alarm. The monitoring showed 100% success, but records were missing every night. Use these commands to diagnose issues. Check how often retries actually happen. If more than 5% of runs, fix the root cause. Verify Boxterminator is set on the correct job, monitor term runtime timers, and test HA failover quarterly. Let's run through some common interview questions. What is N retries? Auto retry count after failure. Alarm only after all retries. What is Boxterminator? Kills switch for entire box on job failure. How does HA failover work? Shadow promotes within 60-90s, replication lag critical. And a few frequently asked questions. How does N retries work? Retries after initial failure. Alarm only after all retries. When to use Boxterminator? On validation jobs whose failure makes downstream meaningless. How to test HA? Quarterly failover drills, monitor replication lag continuously. To wrap up, use N retries sparingly, 2 max for most jobs, and monitor retry rates. Always set Boxterminator, 1 on validation jobs. Add term runtime to every job that touches external systems. And test your HA failover quarterly. Untested HA is a trap. Ready to go deeper? Up next, AutoSys installation and setup, then AutoSys versus cron v's Control-M, then JIL introduction and syntax. Find them all at TheCodeForge.io. Thanks for watching. The full article and code examples are covered in detail at TheCodeForge.io.